We talked some about Pope yesterday, leader of the Catholic Church. Um, and most of the problems, or the main man after him, is a guy by the name of Carlo Maria Vigano, Vigano. And he's after the Pope and stays after him, and he really wants the Pope to resign his job at this time. This guy Regano was he was in the he's retired Vatican ambassador to the United States, and he's saying the Pope should resign for what he called his complicity in the McCarrick scandal. Though McCarrick also implicates a host of other high-ranking U.S. and Vatican officials going back for 2 decades, 20 years. And it all started about 5 years ago with this guy, Benedict, when Regano got word to the Pope and some other high-level people in the church that this guy Benedict had people over his house and different things, and he was getting sex from people, and that he should be removed. And actually, he gave this information to the Pope Francis, about 5 years ago. But actually, for some reason, Pope Francis didn't do anything. In fact, Pope Francis worked to moving this guy up the ladder. The guy that Vigano said should be kicked out, Pope Francis began moving him up the ladder with another type job, and he kept going on and on. But this Vigano stayed on top of it. He didn't quit. In fact, he wrote an 11-page letter and had it published some different places, and he had it published in Italian, English, and Spanish. So it would move around the world, and people with these different languages would understand it and read it and listen to it. But now, believe it or not, in fact, last month, Francis finally fired McCarrick. And offered him to live a lifetime of penance and prayer after a U.S. church investigation determined that an allegation that he groped a teenage altar boy in the 1970s, which was about 50 years ago, and said this was credible. But even now, though, supposedly he was having parties and everything, and taking people to his beach house, this guy McCarrick, and then also taking him into his bed. So he's out. It took 5 years, but Vigano thinks the Pope should be, I'm not going to use the word fired, but he should be taken out of the job that he has, because he's number one in Catholics around the world. But since he worked so slow on getting rid of this McCarrick, and in fact tried to move him up rather than get rid of him, and it went for 5 years, Vigano says the Pope should be let go. But I don't think this is going to end here for some reason. And that's all we have today. Thank you.